Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Current Affair Analysis for 28th May 2020, and these are the articles we'll be dealing today. The first article for the day is taken from the Live Mint and it is titled A Red Line That Beijing Should Not Try to Cross. So this is regarding the aggression shown by Chinese army along the LAC, which has been a point of contention between India and China for quite a while now. After the 1962 war, there has been a line of agreement that was agreed by both the sides to avoid transgressions from the Chinese army. However, ever since 1980s, time and again China has been trying to intrude into the Indian territory, trying to occupy the bordering areas, especially in the Arunachal Pradesh sector as well as Ladakh area. So, what is the problem with this approach of China, especially in the times of COVID-19 crisis? That is the point of this article. So, because of the COVID-19 crisis, the economy of the world has taken a deep hit, and China being one of the major reason where it can impact global economics, the Chinese president decided to abandon completely GDP calculations for this year. Apart from this, he also gave commands to his army that they should get ready for war. So this, coupled with transgressions in the Ladakh area, is considered to be an ominous sign because it signals that China is willing to attack India and attack our sovereignty. So back in 2017, when the Chinese president was visiting India, there was a standoff between the Indian army and the Chinese military in Doklam area of Sikkim. So this site can now potentially become a military flashpoint, reviving the memories of this 2017 Doklam standoff. Both the Indian armed forces and the diplomats are said to be on alert, and the Chinese increase in expenditure, the announcement that 6.6% more budget would be allocated for defense spending this year by China is yet another problematic issue. However, it reveals a strategic myopia on the part of the Chinese regime. They are not looking at the larger picture, and these actions signify that they are losing sight of the aspiration that they have to be a regional security provider. Rather, they would be perceived as aggressors in this region, and this is not good for Chinese diplomacy. If we take a look at the policy stance of China on various battlefronts, whether it is the South China Sea or whether it is with the dealing with Hong Kong and the democracy supporters, or whether it is with LAC, all these signify that China is willing to go ahead with its aggressive stance, which does not augur well with its aspirations to be a global power. So, some foreign policy analysts who have a clear understanding of the Chinese politics say that the change in the shift is because of the domestic politics. Because of the COVID-19 crisis, the president has been under tremendous pressure because of its mismanagement of COVID outbreak. The Chinese management is also under the scanner for its alleged lab-made virus as accused by the United States, and the opacity with which it is dealing with WHO investigations with respect to the labs where this study of viruses has been conducted is also raising serious concerns amongst the international circles. It is in this backdrop that the hegemony of Chinese aggression is being questioned. So the author says that this approach of aggression is very clumsy on part of China, and it would bring about a large trust deficit, and it will dismantle all the social capital that China has built up over the years as an efficient economy that is only looking for economic dominance and nothing else. So this will traditionally cause all its allies to be fearful of its motives. That is the gist of this article. The next article for the day is taken from the Hindu and it is titled Helping Supply Chains Recover. Because of the COVID-19 lockdown, our supply chains have been disrupted and our production patterns have changed. And to respond to this economic crisis, the government came up with the self-reliant package, or simply called the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan package. However, the writers of this article believe that it is not fiscal stimulus that will actually address the supply chain issues, but it is a set of measures which involves reducing government expenditure and removing price controls so that trade will open up. These three steps will gel well to ensure that supply chains are back in place. So, what can the government do in this respect? The author says that we can take example from the Germany after its World War II experience. So, after 1945, the bombing which disrupted the German supply chain was almost crippling the economy. What they have done is they actually targeted the bottleneck sectors first and ensured that these sectors do not face any disruption. They started with electricity power generation. So what they have done is they lifted all the taxations and price controls. So they left it to the markets, and because of this there was a considerable increase in production which led to German entrepreneurs re-establishing their supply chains, where goods from both upstream sectors as well as final consumers was re-established. Now if you take the present situation into consideration, we have for every activity what we call as upstream sectors from which raw materials come. We have the manufacturers, then we have distribution networks downstream. Now because of the lockdown situation, upstream production, raw materials production has come to a halt. However, because of the stocks existing with the manufacturers, they are able to procure or they are able to produce more, and the downstream supply chain is more or less similar. However, after the existing raw materials are over, there will not be enough demand because of lack of jobs in the economy, and it is because of this the government must divert certain money to ensure that the supply of raw materials is as cheap as possible and should not be driven by markets in this point of time. So in order to ensure that this happens, the government must reduce its expenditure. However, also after the production, the price control should be taken care by the government. For that to happen properly, there should be proper avenues or markets for trading, and when these three go hand in hand, the economy will be back in place, and therefore the supply chains will be back in place both in the upstream and the downstream sector. That is the gist of this article.